Ever wonder how the folks at OpenAI, the ones who build these incredible AI coding tools, actually use them in their own day-to-day work? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and get an inside look at how their engineers use their AI assistant, Codex, every single day. Let's get into it.
Let's just jump right in with the killer quote, the one that really says it all. A back-end engineer on the ChatGPT team said this after using Codex for a really complex task. It did in minutes what would have taken hours. That one sentence, it perfectly captures the massive productivity shift we're about to unpack.
See, the thing is, at OpenAI, AI isn't just some cool research project they tinker with on the side. No way. It's a core, deeply integrated engineering tool that's completely woven into the fabric of how they build software day in and day out.
So let's take a closer look at what that actually means. How is this AI assistant shaping the daily workflow for engineers across the entire company?
And we're not just talking about some small specialized team here. We're talking product engineering, the infrastructure and performance folks, the security team, front-end, APIs, you name it. This tool is so versatile, it's being used by pretty much every part of the engineering organization.
Okay, so the first big way they use it, decoding crazy complex systems. This is all about getting new hires up to speed, squashing bugs, and handling emergencies in these massive, sometimes unfamiliar code bases.
You know that feeling, right? If you're a developer, you've definitely been there. How on earth do you trace a nasty bug in a system you've never even laid eyes on before? It can be a huge, time-sucking nightmare just to figure out where to start.
And this is where Codex just shines. It doesn't just find a single line of code for you, it helps you understand the whole system. It can pinpoint the core logic for a feature, map out how all the different microservices talk to each other, trace data from point A to point Z, and, get this, it even uncovers architectural patterns that nobody ever bothered to write down. It's literally like having a senior architect sitting right next to you 24/7.
And the impact in a real-world crisis? It's huge. One of their on-call engineers said they just copy and paste an error message into Codex and ask, hey, where's the authentication flow? Bam. It takes them straight to the right files. When the pressure's on and every second counts, that kind of speed is an absolute game changer. So, Codex helps you understand code. That's awesome. But what about actually writing it? Well, that brings us to the next big theme. Seriously accelerating software development, from huge refactoring projects to shipping brand new features.
Let's talk about another classic developer headache. Your day is just sliced and diced by meetings, Slack messages, and constant interruptions. How are you supposed to build momentum and get anything done when you can't get more than 30 minutes of uninterrupted focus time?
Well, this chart gives us a pretty clear answer. A massive 40% of its use is for large-scale refactoring. You know, those tedious changes across dozens of files that are just perfect to hand off to an AI. Another 30% is for scaffolding new features, just getting all the boilerplate code out of the way. Then you've got it handling quick drive-by fixes and even turning product specs directly into starter code.
I love this quote from one of their product engineers. I was in meetings all day and still merged 4 PRs because Codex was working in the background. I mean, just think about that. It's a whole new way of working, where your AI partner keeps making progress for you even when you're tied up with other things.
But, it's not all about just raw speed. What's the point of going fast if the code isn't any good? So this next part is all about how they use Codex to actually boost code quality, from performance optimization to better test coverage.
So Codex is boosting quality in 3 really important ways. First, it's a beast at increasing test coverage, sniffing out all those tricky edge cases a human might overlook. Second, it acts like a performance detective, spotting inefficient code or slow database queries. And third, it's constantly improving the overall code health by flagging old, outdated patterns, basically fighting off technical debt automatically.
Okay, this next one is a workflow that just blew my mind. A front-end engineer says, I point Codex at low-coverage modules overnight and wake up to runnable unit test PRs. Let that sink in. The AI is literally writing high-quality tests and improving the reliability of the code base while the engineer is asleep. That's incredible.
All right, so we've seen the what. It's pretty amazing. But how are they getting these kinds of results day in and day out? It's not magic. It comes down to mastering the prompt, and they've developed some key best practices to get it right.
It really boils down to 4 key habits. First, they plan. They use an ask mode to get a high-level strategy from the AI before writing a single line of code.
Second, they add a ton of context, treating every prompt like a super detailed bug report. Third, they make sure the environment is set up correctly. And finally, they actually save key information in a special file so the AI always understands the specific quirks of that project. And just look at the difference this makes. It's night and day. A lazy prompt like, refactor this file, is basically a lottery ticket. You might get something good, you might not. But a structured prompt that says exactly which file to change, what new pattern to use, and where to find an example, that gets you a precise, high-quality result every time. With AI, it's all about the context. Context is everything. So, when you put all this together, what does it actually mean for the future of how we build software? Well, we're looking at nothing less than a completely new paradigm of human-AI collaboration.
What we're really witnessing here is a massive shift in what it means to be an engineer. It's a move away from the tedious, line-by-line coding and a move towards providing high-level, strategic direction. Basically, the human becomes the architect, and the AI becomes the master builder, executing that vision. And you gotta remember, this is all happening while Codex is technically still in a research preview. Even at this early stage, it's already helping OpenAI ship features faster, write much better code, and finally get to all that important work that was always stuck on the back burner. The entire engineering org is just becoming more effective.
And all of this leaves us with a huge and kind of exciting question. As AI stops being just a tool and becomes a true creative partner, what is the new role for the human developer? What does it really mean to build something when your most productive collaborator is an AI?